When we disagree, it'll be just like, so far it's been just like when Barack and I did. It's in private. She'll say, I think we should do A, B, C, or D. And I'll say, I like A, don't like B and C. And it's go, okay. And like I told Barack, if I reach something where there's a fundamental disagreement we have based on a moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
This is getting very, very close. What I don't want to have happen, I don't want Trump to get in a position where he thinks he's about to buy onto a policy where the financial system is going to collapse and he's going to be looked to pour more money into Ukraine. That's how he'll think about it before he gets sophisticated enough to know the detail.
In other words, Biden does not want Ukraine asking for more money from Trump. Doing so would cause Trump to look into the details.
So anything you can do to push the Privat Bank to closure so that the IMF loan comes forward, I would respectfully suggest is critically important to your economic as well as physical security.
Critically important for economic and physical
protect the banks. This is because the Henan branch of the Bank of China is declaring that people's savings in their own branch are now investment products and cannot be withdrawn. This clip shows a long queue of tanks preventing locals from reaching the bank branch, and as the camera pans right now, the tank queue is seen covering the entire block. The locals look agitated, but they're forced to wait because of the presence of armed vehicles.
Conferences in recent history, the sitting president of the United States announced today that he has cancer. Now, traditionally, it's the job of the White House physician to update the public on significant changes to the president's health. But in a striking and honestly poignant break with protocol, Joe Biden decided to drop the bracing news himself. Here he is.
That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer, and why can't for the longest time Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
I have cancer, Joe Biden said, and I got it from growing up in Delaware. And with that, Biden left the stage, taking no questions about his condition. What kind of cancer does Joe Biden have? What is his long-term prognosis? And is Delaware really that bad? Parts of it are not beautiful, that is true, but can an entire state be a carcinogen? At this point, we can't say. We are hearing word tonight that Biden may have misspoken, rattled no doubt by the stress of his diagnosis. It is likely that, in fact, it's not cancer Joe Biden is battling, but dementia. Simple mistake. We'll get an update from our own in-house physician, Dr. Mark Siegel, in just a moment. But first, no matter what is wrong with Joe Biden, and something clearly is, it has not prevented him from working to amass more power than any American president has ever had. Joe Biden's latest idea is that he personally is the only branch of government in the United States. No more separation of powers. Joe Biden has all the power. If the Congress, the Supreme Court, does something that Joe Biden doesn't like, he gets to simply ignore it and then do what he wants to do. And he can do this because it's an emergency. There's no time for democracy. We've got an emergency on our hands, and naturally, only Joe Biden can solve it. We don't have enough abortions. It's an emergency. You're not wearing a mask alone in your car. It's an emergency. Your kids aren't trans yet. It's an emergency. And of course, the emergency to top all emergencies, the
to live with the Homo sapiens in a way where we don't, they don't affect us, we won't affect them, kind of like in a separation type of way.
I don't know what a Homo sapien is. If they're going extinct, that's very sad, but at the end of the day, I don't care.
It's not the fact that I don't like Homo sapiens, it's just that we've always lived without them, so we don't know anything at all.
Have you ever seen a Homo sapien?
You don't want to know. Yeah, I saw one once at the zoo.
Describe it.
Furry,
Yep.
big,
Mm-hmm.
gorilla looking. He was picking his whatchadilly.
He was?
Yeah,
I've never seen one do that.
well, I did.
Homo sapiens, let them die. Save the humans.